what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
From the race for Oklahoma governor all the way to District 45, we have all you need before voting in the 2022 midterm elections tomorrow. Norman Public Schools is still under a cyber attack. How far the disruption goes coming up, and a busy street in Norman is only getting busier. Hear why the city says the construction is important. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Jaden Brannon.
And I'm Summer Miller. We are 14 hours and 30 minutes away from the polls opening on Election Day, as you can see from our Election Day countdown clock.
And tonight we have new numbers just hours before Election Day.
Tonight we know just how many Oklahomans voted early in our state. A larger number this year because it's the first time that early voting was allowed on Saturday. The state election board says 199,168 Oklahomans voted between Wednesday and Friday last week. That breaks down to 73,888 Democrats, 103,533 Republicans, and 21,024 independents who cast ballots. That does not mean people voted along their registered party lines.
And before we get to the rest of our election coverage, we need to check in with the OU Nightly Weather Department.
Meteorologist Jenna Warner has this chance for rain tonight and a big cold front coming through. What do you have for us, Jenna?
Thanks, guys. Well, tonight we have a warm front actually making its way up from southern Oklahoma, and that'll bring us our rain chances. Now, these will be sporadic, so not everyone on this map will see rain, but they have the potential to see rain tonight. Talking about that cold front coming in later in the week, we're looking at Thursday. It's going to drop those temperatures down. We'll be below average for this time of year, and we have tons of weather to talk about coming up later, but I'm going to send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jenna, and we do hope the weather cooperates for those at the polls tomorrow, but tonight we bring you OU Nightly's election preview, and we start with the candidates for governor. Let's go out to Dakota McDowell Wapakichi, who is live outside the Oklahoma State Capitol, with a look at where incumbent Republican governor, Kevin Stitt stands. Dakota.
Republican nominee and incumbent Governor Kevin Stitt first took office in 2018. Tomorrow, he hopes to finish his re-election campaign with a win.
Please welcome to the stage our governor and first lady, Kevin and Sarah Stitt.
Kevin Stitt, Oklahoma's 28th governor, is running to retain his seat to further his conservative values in Oklahoma. Whether it is pro-life or pro-school vouchers or even pro-turnpike extension through Norman and more, he has had many stances that separate him from his opponent, Joy Hoffmeister.
I want the best education system. I want the best access to health care. We want the best roads and bridges, and we want the best economy.
During his time as governor, he's had many areas in which he said he succeeded, like funding for law enforcement.
You know, the Biden party is defunding the police. Meanwhile, in Oklahoma, we back the blue. I gave our law enforcement a 30% increase this year, the largest they had ever had in the last decade. Folks, Oklahoma's turnaround is working.
There have also been many scandals during his time as governor. On top of that, even issues where relationships with Oklahoma's tribal nations are not as strong as many Oklahomans would prefer. Amid all that, he says his plan is working to make Oklahoma a top 10 state.
I will always work for you, the people, all 4 million Oklahomans, and continue to drive to make Oklahoma a top 10 state.
Now, the polls are showing a very tight race between Stitt and his challenger, Joy Hoffmeister. It all comes down to whatever happens tomorrow. Reporting from the Oklahoma State Capitol, Dakota McDowell Wapakichi, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Dakota. On the other side of the aisle, we take a look at Democratic candidate Joy Hoffmeister. She's been on a 27-county bus tour this week. OU Nightly's Cameron Joyner is live outside the Oklahoma State Department of Education. Cameron?
I'm live outside of Joy Hoffmeister's current office as state superintendent, but tomorrow that office could become the Capitol. I sat down with Hoffmeister to talk a little bit about her campaign for governor.
Oklahoma belongs to you.
Republican turned Democrat
I'm aggressively moderate.
versus Republican incumbent.
I like to say, meet me in the middle. Let's get something done, because it is the center where we actually make good policy.
With the endorsement of the 5 major Native American tribes,
endorse Joy Hoffmeister.
Joy Hoffmeister takes a strong stance on tribal sovereignty.
We have to be able to have a governor who understands and respects the tribal sovereignty of the 39 sovereign nations in this state.
Improved infrastructure and healthcare access.
We also know that we've got to have quality, affordable health care.
And her biggest platform, education.
We have to work to ensure that we build up, not dismantle, public education.
Especially in rural Oklahoma.
She cares about rural education. We know that rural schools really depend on the state's support.
This is about world-class schools. Where are you at school? Saying no to vouchers, ensuring we have the teachers for our kids so that we can build a robust economy.
Her focus on teamwork resonates with her supporters.
So that, you know what, this is a bipartisan race.
Not only in education, but I think that leadership style will make her successful in all areas, whether it's health care or criminal justice reform.
Tomorrow is Election Day, and if you need to know where you can go to vote, head over to oklahoma.gov. Reporting live from Oklahoma City, I'm Cameron Joyner, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Cameron. And moving from governor to the race to replace Senator Jim Inhofe, who is retiring, last week we brought you a profile of Democrat Kendra Horn. Tonight, OU Nightly's Olivia Daig talks with the Republican nominee for that spot. Olivia.
That's right, Jaden. I spoke to Congressman Markwayne Mullin, who's running against Democrat Kendra Horn. Here's where he stands as we head into the final days.
Mullin says he wanted to get into politics to remove what he calls a heavy hand over business owners.
I got fed up. Politics wasn't what I've ever done in my life.
His reason for ditching his House seat and running for the Senate.
Because all those agencies that regulate businesses to death, the head of every one of those agencies get confirmed in the Senate, not in the House.
A main point to Mullin's platform is combating inflation through energy independence.
Without affordable and reliable energy, you're going to have an unstable economy.
And another issue important to Mullin is immigration and crime, and he supports a southern border wall.
Trying to do immigration reform at the same time having an open border, and it's not like with Canada. You have a lawless country that's being ran by the cartels just south of us.
And sticking to conservative platforms, Mullin believes abortion should be a states' rights issue. However,
that doesn't mean I'm not going to work as hard as I can to stop this horrible practice from coast to coast.
We spoke with Kendra Horn last week. You can go to OU Nightly's Facebook page or YouTube channel to see what she said last Thursday.
Thanks, Olivia. Many OU students live east of campus, and part of that area includes Oklahoma House District 45. OU Nightly's Austin Pratt joins us live now with a look at both candidates running for that seat. Austin?
Bringing change to the economy is important for both candidates. Annie Menz describes her approach to change as finding solutions for working families.
And that touches a lot of different issue points. So when we talk about that, it's protecting public education, doing something about raising the minimum wage, and our housing crisis. We've got a lot of renters in my district, and I want to be able to help them.
One of the most important issues for Republican candidate Teresa Sterling, whose mother was killed in a nursing home, is elder abuse in Oklahoma.
I've knocked over 5,000 doors, and I would say 1 in every 6 person has the same or similar issue, where they feel like their family member was either abused or neglected in a nursing home. So that's definitely one issue I feel like we have to deal with.
Both candidates strongly oppose the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority plan to build an expressway through eastern Cleveland County and hope to create economic solutions for Oklahomans.
Thanks, Austin, for that report. And just a reminder, polls are open tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and we'll have live coverage of election results tomorrow night. And coming up, the very latest on the ransomware attack that hit Norman Public Schools. We'll tell you what the district is saying tonight.
And in national election news, thousands of absentee ballots missing in the mail. We'll tell you where when OU Nightly continues.
Is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Students from Norman Public Schools are currently not using their devices after an incident was made aware of on Friday. OU Nightly's Dana Searles is live with how the school district is handling the situation.
Norman Public Schools is advising students not to use their school-issued devices after a malicious ransomware attack happened last Friday. The school district is currently working to resolve the issue with third-party cybersecurity experts and law enforcement. The district says they will keep parents informed as they continue to learn more, but they're expecting a significant disruption. So while they're working on resolving the issue, they're also recommending that students keep the devices disconnected from home networks and shut them off completely until told otherwise. We reached out to the Norman Public Schools Public Relations Office for an updated statement, but still have not heard back yet. Reporting live, Dana Searles, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Dana. More concerning news, this time with elections in Georgia. Carolyn Felling has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center. Carolyn?
Yeah, guys, an investigation into one Georgia county election board is underway. It all started after the Board of Elections failed to mail more than 1,000 absentee ballots on time. Sources say the county election board is going to allow absentee ballots to be turned in until November 14th. In the Oklahoma State Election Board declared an election emergency for some Oklahoma residents. The board relocated the polling place to Calvary Missionary Baptist Church. This after multiple tornadoes struck southeastern Oklahoma. And the storm that tore apart southeastern Oklahoma also swept across Arkansas and Texas. Right now, one person died from the tornado in McCurtain County and another in Texas. Authorities say over 100 homes and businesses were damaged here in our state. And Governor Stitt declares a state of emergency for 4 counties. He says resources and support will be accessible for all of Oklahoma's hit by this storm.
Thanks, Carolyn. For Norman drivers, hear how your evening commute could be affected this week.
But first, a warm-up could be on the way. Our Jenna Warner has your full forecast coming up next.
Find out how long that rain tonight's gonna stick around. Weather is next.
To Sofía and Gabriel.
Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Central and Midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. It's been a pretty overcast day today. We saw some sun this morning, but right now, still overcast skies. Great day to cozy up with a book, watch a movie, something like that. Dew point, we're really close to the actual temperature, so it is pretty humid out there. Lows tonight will be much warmer as that warm front makes its way up north to Norman, so we'll have a low of 63 degrees tonight, 62 in Oklahoma City, 60 up in Enid. And because of all this humidity, we'll have fog tomorrow morning. Now, visibility will be less than a mile in some areas, so be careful on your commute tomorrow morning to work. Those rain chances will stick around from Monday night tonight to Tuesday morning tomorrow morning. So when you wake up driving to work, driving to the polls in the morning, it might be pretty rainy. You'll want to have an umbrella or some rain boots, rain jacket on hand just in case. It'll be sporadic rain again, but we might see some rumbles of thunder too in the morning. Highs tomorrow will get up to about 74, 75 degrees in central Oklahoma. It'll be a pretty nice day. And then talking about fire danger on Thursday. So we'll have winds really picking up as a system comes in midweek. Those winds will create some fire danger out west for us. And then if we take a look at our 7-day forecast, we'll map out what's going on. So Thursday, we have that cold front that's going to come through. It's going to come through in the evening, and it's going to drastically drop down our temperatures. Our high on Friday will be 49 degrees, and that rain will stick around Friday morning, but it'll clear out by midday Friday. Moving into Saturday, it'll still be really chilly, and we'll have an overnight low Friday night into Saturday morning below freezing. This will keep up as we go into the weekend. Looking at Sunday, pretty chilly day again. Northerly winds, pretty blustery, and a low of 36 Saturday night. Overall, take advantage of that warm weather Wednesday and Thursday before we cool down for the fall. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jenna. Norman drivers, you might want to plan a quicker route if you're heading down Robinson. The city of Norman began construction earlier today to repair broken sidewalks along a portion of Robinson Street, bringing traffic down to just one lane in some spots. Officials say the construction is important for pedestrian accessibility.
What we found is there were 2 broken panels of the sidewalk, and that makes it not accessible for people with disabilities. So we need to do that repair work, and so this is just a scheduled maintenance repair.
The anticipated completion date is early next week. The Sooners put up a fight Saturday, but just barely fell to the Baylor Bears.
Let's check in with Zoe Watson about how the Sooners are preparing to face the West Virginia Mountaineers this weekend. Zoe?
That's right, ladies. The Sooners fell in a heartbreaker to the Bears. Brent Venables will tell you what went wrong. And men's and women's basketball teams tip off their season today. We'll have the latest next.
Is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And it's time for sports. The Sooners fell in a bear trap in Norman on Saturday, falling to Baylor 38-35. Dylan Rivera and Jack Horan tell you what went wrong.
Yeah, Zoe, out here on a cold night at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Dylan Rivera here with Jack Horan in our matching suit jackets. 3 interceptions on the afternoon for Dylan Gabriel. Not the best day for the offense, albeit 2 of those interceptions were not really his fault, but 3 interceptions nonetheless. That's the first time we have seen a Sooner quarterback do that since 2014 when Cody Thomas did it against Texas Tech. Now the other side of that scoreboard reads 38 for Baylor. Obviously the defense didn't do their job.
They did not. They gave up a lot of yards in the run game. They were averaging 5.9 yards per carry, and Craig Williams was able to find the end zone twice. They also struggled to get stops in the red zone, and Coach Venables says they'll have to clean it up for next week.
Timeliness and the precision and the timing that it takes, again, and the toughness that it takes at the right moments. Well, we got to do a better job helping them. We got to get our guys better at playing with the discipline that it takes to win. Again, just the most inopportune times we were not at our best, and they were.
Like Coach Venables said, they'll have to clean up that defense, and we'll see if they can do that against West Virginia next week on the road. We'll be there as well. You can follow us at OU Nightly or at OU Nightly Sports for all your updates. Zoe, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, guys. The Sooners now look forward to going on the road to face the West Virginia Mountaineers Saturday. Oklahoma defensive coordinator Ted Roof praises West Virginia quarterback JT Daniels' abilities.
I have a lot of respect for them. He throws a great deep ball. Doesn't panic in the pocket, and he's done a good job and throws under duress too. He hangs in there, trusts his protection, and hangs in there and gets rid of the ball, and knowing he's, regardless of the situation, type of pressure, no pressure, whatever it is, he's a tough, gutsy competitor.
And the OU women's basketball team is back in action at their season opener at the LNC. The Sooners are currently leading the ORU Golden Eagles 57-26 with 3 minutes and 49 seconds left in the first half. Skylar Vann is leading the Sooners with 10 points on 5 and 7 for shooting. The men's basketball team tips off their season opener tonight at 7 against Sam Houston. Oklahoma has won all 5 meetings against the Bearcats and have won the last 19 season openers since 2003-2004 season. Summer, Jaden, back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Zoe. And well, if you haven't seen them, you're going to want to stick around.
The Oklahoma City Zoo has 4 new baby lions. Hear how you can help them coming up next.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Central and Midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
The OKC Zoo welcomed its first lion cubs in 15 years, and they need your help naming them.
Out of the 4 cubs, 3 of them are female and 1 is male.
Potential names for the cubs have been put into 3 groups on the zoo's website.
The public can vote on the OKC Zoo's website through tonight, with the winning names to be announced this Wednesday.
Well, how cute are they? Alrighty, let's take one last look at the weather with OU meteorologist Jenna Warner. Let's see if we need to bring those raincoats when we go out to vote.
That's right, Election Day will be kind of rainy. Bring your umbrellas, rain jackets, raincoats to the polls, especially if you're going early. But that rain should dry out by the afternoon and evening. So should shape up to be a pretty nice day, but still overcast skies. That sun will return once we hit Wednesday. And then mapping out your next chance for a cold front. This is the cold front that'll come through Thursday, and it'll bring a chance for snow up north in Oklahoma. But back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jenna, and thank you for joining us tonight on OU Nightly.
Be sure to tune in weekdays live at 4:30. Good night.
Your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane. You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important